Okay, welcome to this mini workshop on building up your self-identity and your confidence. I'm so happy you're here today. I wanted to make this mini workshop because we're going through a really crazy freaking stage at the moment. We're going through a time of transition, and when this happens, I know this happened to me, my friends, and to my clients, so maybe it's happened to you too. You just start to lose a bit of a sense of who you are, and you start to lose your direction a little bit. Okay, so I know for the first few days of this isolation, I just got in a real funk, and took me a little while just to kind of get used to it, figure out who I was again, get back on track, and find my love and excitement for life again. So hopefully you find this really useful today. And what I've got for you are a really quick way just to dive deep into who you are as a person. Okay, so I want to build you up. I want to build up your understanding of who you are, what makes you amazing, so then you can then apply that throughout your life. Okay, and hopefully as you go through these, you'll notice that they are really simple, but they are effective. And it might just be getting you to think deeper about parts of yourself that you haven't actually done for a while, or maybe you never have. So moving on, this mini workshop includes 3 action steps to help you build up your understanding of yourself and to help you develop a positive self-identity. So you will need a pen and paper for this. I have got the workbook that I have sent you. I put a link to on the previous page, so get that if you want to. Otherwise, just pen and paper is fine. Please feel free to stop and start. Just take your time with these action steps. So a little bit about myself. I'm Bridie McAfee. I am a holistic life coach, and coaching women is my passion and my purpose. And I'm so glad I've come to this realization, because my life has been so much more fulfilling for me once I figured out really who I was, and it did these steps as well and got myself on the right track. I'm addicted to the outdoors and travel and adventure, and I've been lucky enough to travel the world while working, and I've recently come back to New Zealand, which is where I'm from, hence the accent, and I was living in London for about 6 years and absolutely loved it, but I'm so glad to be home, even though isolation right now isn't ideal for being outdoors. Normally it means you can just get out, even now, to be honest, get up into the hills, walk, run. So yeah, really lucky to be doing that. And my background is in psychology and education, and I was a teacher for about 8 years, and then transitioned into more of a coaching role. So, and I've got a diploma in life coaching as well. Right, but what about you? You are here because you are tired of the negative self-judgment that keeps taking over your thoughts. You want to feel like your authentic self is good enough, and you're ready to start making deep, lasting changes to your daily happiness. And if you're like me and my clients, you want to trust your decision making. You want to feel that inner confidence. It just makes life easier and just makes you feel better about who you are at your core. Right, and I know this because I have been here, okay? I developed these action steps as this is what I was going through as well. And I'd reached the point where I had to make changes just to learn to love myself at a deeper level. No one else has to read what you record during this workshop, so be kind to yourself. No one is going to judge you here. Be true. Have a go at quieting the judgments, the thoughts of others, and the outside pressures, and just allow yourself to be raw and open for a few minutes while you do the action steps. Right, so first action step today. What are your positive qualities and strengths? Okay, we are so quick to notice our flaws, but we find it really awkward and uncomfortable acknowledging our strengths. And I think that's quite a cultural thing as well. I know in New Zealand it's kind of looked, shunned if you try and talk yourself up. People do not like that. So we're always trying to, be really modest, but this is not the time for that. Okay. So I want you to really, take the time with this one. Here are some examples: problem solver, healthy, environmental, careful, passionate. Okay. So what I want you to do is write your name in the middle of the page, like I have here, and then surround it with all of your positive qualities and strengths. And normally when I do this with my clients, and myself, you kind of get down to like 5 or 6 to start with. You're like, okay, put down some of the main ones, and then it's like, that's it, that's me, that's it done. And I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. Okay, it's very normal, but I want you to take the time to think about yourself in different situations. So, actually, I'll go over this one first. So, if you're like me, my clients, you may start to have judgmental thoughts such as, what makes you think you are creative? And as if you're organized. Have you seen your room? These are ones that I had as well. And it's kind of like, you're like, oh, maybe I'm spontaneous. And you're like, well, actually, no, you're not. And all those judgmental thoughts come in. But if you think you've got even one example of having that, write it down. Okay. And if you want it to be part of your identity, write it down as well. And that is because we start to embody and act out the qualities that we believe we are, that we believe we have. So if you say, as I've got here, you're always late, your actions will reflect this. However, this is not set, and you will be able to think of some examples where you were on time in your life. So this applies to different situations as well, okay? So choose to embody the qualities that serve you. If you don't want to be messy, and this is one that I had, then include organize in your list and start to think about at least one example when you had that. Because if you start saying that you are this thing, I am a messy person, then of course you're going to start acting around that. Your choices and decisions are going to reflect that. Whereas if you choose qualities that serve you, your actions will start to reflect those, okay? So just be kind to yourself here. Get as many as you can. And yeah, just start to create a really wonderful list of the qualities and strengths that reflect your magic. And be kind. I would say take, what I did is I had it next to my bed and I added to it like throughout the week. So say if I got like finally maybe 10 on that first day, I'd leave it and I'd think about it like, right, what am I like at work? Okay, at work, I'm actually got good leadership skills. I listen really well to my colleagues. I'm supportive. And so you start to think about it yourself in that situation. What am I like hanging out with my friends? What did I used to be like? Maybe like 10 years ago. Maybe actually I've started to lose some of those. I haven't been able to really show them lately because of my situation, but I'm still fun, like maybe work pressure and family life has been like quite hard at the moment, but doesn't mean those other ones have gone away. They're just hiding for the moment until the right situation comes up. Okay, action step number 2. What are the different roles that you have? So I've included this step as it's so important to differentiate between our core qualities and our roles. Okay, when we attach too much of our identity to the roles we hold, we can become broken and lost when these roles unexpectedly change. And sadly, they do. Relationships, some last, some end, jobs, sometimes you get laid off, sometimes you keep them, whatever. Things change though. And if you attach lots of your self-worth to those roles, when they change, it can really shake us. Okay, so my mission is for every woman to know her true worth, regardless of whether she's a mother, a partner, single, employed, looking for work, away from home at the moment. It doesn't matter. I want every single woman to know her true worth. So take the time here to write down all of your roles you've had in your life. Notice that there'll be some that you don't hold anymore because roles are fluid, okay? Sometimes they change unexpectedly. And yeah, roles are important. They are things that kind of, make our life interesting. They don't make us worthy, okay? We don't become less wonderful when we lose our job, as long as you haven't attached your identity to it, okay? You're going to find it quite hard if you think that you are, so I'm a lawyer and I'm incredible because I'm this kick-ass, high-paid lawyer and everyone respects me because of my role. And then if you lose your job, all of a sudden you've lost a whole lot of love for yourself because that was who you are as a person, okay? So we're trying to remove that. But you have to find that love for yourself by looking within. So I've put some down here: mother, sister, consumer, yoga student, granddaughter, wife. So write down the roles that you have had just to really become clear on the actions that we made before and this one and how different they are, okay? Right, action step number 3. What are your core values and beliefs? This was a tricky one for me, and I'm not sure how you're going to find it, but I had I know what values are, but I never actually thought about what mine were and put it as such like a solid understanding. So, but once I'd done that, it made so much more sense what I was doing, my decisions, my confidence in myself, my ability to trust my intuition made so much more sense. So our values guide and dictate our behaviors, and the things our hearts say are important. So they are what you believe matter most in life. So I've got some here for you. People value education, respect, reliability, creativity, honesty. And what I did actually do in the end is look up online as well, because I was like, am I missing something here? Is there more to this? So I looked up online and just saw some lists, and I was like, okay, actually, put down as many as I can. So write them all down. Okay. And then once you've got them down, you'll start to see some perhaps that mean more than others to you. So just get them many as you can down to start with. Okay, because this is important. Being clear on our values helps us to make decisions, as they make it clear how to act in different situations. They increase our confidence as we gain a strong understanding of what really matters to us. They create healthy boundaries. They help us choose a career path and the activities we spend our time on, which is so important, because if you're valuing something and then you've ended up in a job that doesn't respect that or doesn't follow that at all, it's going to make you feel really uncomfortable. Might have some cognitive dissonance in there. And they also increase levels of happiness when we live and act in alignment with our values. Okay, so that's why it's so important. If you, for example, this is a pretty crude example, but say if you respect honesty and then you are lying to your friends or your partner quite often, you're going to have that internal conflict happening, and it's not going to make you feel very good. It's not going to increase your happiness or your confidence in yourself and your judgment. So it's really important that you start to act in alignment with your values. So once you've written down as many as you can, have a go at kind of circling the top sort of 5 that you feel most important to you. Okay. And this might take a little while as well, because I know for me it did. And then have a go at finding the ones that you think are your top 3, that you think are most important in your life, that you want to be following. And once you have that, you can start acting and making choices around your understanding of your values. Okay. And yes, your values will change. So don't feel like, this is my value, I'm going to stick to it. This is all I can do for the rest of my life. They can change as you change. But it's really important to keep thinking about this. And if you were like me, you haven't even done this before. You haven't actually thought of what you value. But now you've got the opportunity to do that. And I really hope you take the time just to do this for yourself, to give you a better understanding of who you are at your core. So by spending some time on each of these activities, you'll be starting to deepen your appreciation, understanding of yourself. Okay, so have a go at becoming more aware of the mental dialogue that happens. I know for me, like, the brain chatter is crazy, and that's why I kind of got into this. Okay, so when you're making a decision or talking about yourself, like, what thoughts are coming up? Are you judging yourself? Are you being like critical? Are you thinking about what others are thinking about you? And just start to become aware of that and start to be a bit more kinder to yourself. Make some connections with these activities that you've done. Really go deep. And I think kindness is the best word I can use to describe it. Just taking a step back and not letting yourself be the one that's judging you. Okay? Other people might do it, but as long as you are not the one that's doing that to yourself. Okay. So what now? Well, you've already taken steps toward developing your self-awareness and understanding of what makes you wonderful. And it feels great, doesn't it? I know once I'd done this, everything else became a lot clearer for me. My decision-making was easier. I found my direction, my purpose. Everything started to make sense. So I recommend you carry on this journey by diving deeper. This is kind of the next activities, action steps that I'd give for you, is really diving into what brings you joy. Okay, what are your happy memories? What things actually spark that joy and happiness in you? So going forward, it's going to make your decisions a lot easier. Become clear on your magic. Now, I love this idea of every single one of us has got this magic inside of us, this ability to do something easily. That's kind of like, in my understanding, our gift that we can provide for the world. So what is it for you? So for me, looking at my strengths, my values, my magic is the ability to really connect with others, how they're feeling, what they're thinking, and then support them around that. Okay, so once you kind of figure out what that is, it helps you, you might want to start a new side project, might want to include it in the work you're doing, all the rest of it. And then also thinking of areas that you want to work on for yourself. So what are your sort of areas of weakness? Not really like that word, but so for me, for example, it was the sort of the structured aspects to my life. I can very go with the flow, but actually I want to work on structure and I want that to be part of who I am. So I'm putting steps in place to try and support that. So just thinking about what areas you want to work on as well. Okay, so we have finished the mini workshop for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you just are feeling like, I don't know, if you're like me, you actually might feel a little bit shaky right now after those ones, because you might need to work more on the qualities and strengths one. Don't leave it there. Don't just think, I've only got 6 and that's it. It's not it. Trust me. It's about stripping off all the heaviness, the judgment that's been put on you, and really diving in and being kind to yourself. So keep working on it, let it build up, and really start to grow that wonderful understanding of who you are. Okay? If you want to talk with me about anything that we've done in here, please do contact me. I want to hear, even if you just did this, like just message me and say, I had a go, enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it, I like this, found this tricky, whatever. Please just get in touch. I want to know how you're going. I want to know your story. I want to know about you. So please do contact me either bridie.mcafee.coach@gmail.com or www.coachingwithbridie.com, or my Facebook, Bridie McAfee Life Coach, and Instagram is just Bridie McAfee. And if you want to have a complimentary 45-minute session, just get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to do that with you, to get you on track and even go over some of the things that you did in this workshop. So I cannot wait to hear from you, and I really hope you enjoyed doing this and taking the time for yourself today. I will talk to you later on.